applies there, but aside from the magnitude of a number of cases of identified fraud, do you feel that the fraud was coordinated or directed in any instance?
That's unknown. It's unknown yet in the audit. The audit is ongoing. I'm not sure that that's our only interest, is to track down, fraud in and of itself. We believe that officials are keenly aware of that problem, and we want to bring to their attention some areas that they may not see, and that's what this report is about. These are statements, in fact, the Secretary of State has never heard these two statements today that you're hearing today. It's in this report because it wasn't, Mike, in fact, went back to find and see if the precinct judge had reported what he had told her. She wrote nothing. So, folks, we can't fix a problem when it's not written down in the reports. Again, going back to the proper training of poll workers and encouraging them to write about problems and incidences so that all concerned can address it. Now, Mike then did file subsequently Form 450 and passed it on to the board so that they were aware.
We couldn't get any, every time I talked to the board about this particular situation, they just acted like, oh, it's only one vote, no big deal. Never really went anywhere with it, so we can't. If you can't report it to your own board and have somebody do something when you notice, obviously it's a problem there, then you have a bigger problem than that. Because if they're just doing that with me, I don't know what's going on with the rest of them.
Last month, the Attorney General said of the 20 cases of fraud reported to him by the Secretary of State, 13 were sent on to county prosecutors. Where's the disconnect between their numbers and the widespread fraud cases found?
Well, I think in vetting that, obviously, if someone is indicated that they voted twice, let's say, for instance, of those 20 cases and 13 were, in the Attorney General's opinion, were confirmed enough that they should be turned over to local law enforcement. What happened to the other 7? Well, there may have been, something where there was no intent. It said through the process of the Attorney General's investigation, they probably thought there was no intent here to actually commit voter fraud. But again, I think your question is widespread voter fraud. If that's the conception of a number of Ohioans, that's why this report was needed and why we need to address the issue. Because if they believe that, then that lessens the impact of elections in Ohio. And that's why the legislature is introducing legislation to address that and alleviate the concerns of Ohio. So we do know that fraud took place. That's undisputable with everybody in this room. These are reports that the media is presenting in Hamilton County and in Franklin County. This is what I'm reading the Columbus Dispatch. And this, of course, the Secretary of State's own report of 135 cases, again, which grew after his report of May 23rd. And I think that after today, they're probably going to be doing some more research. Maybe asking our fellow, neighbor states like Pennsylvania, Indiana, West Virginia to enter into the collaborative of exchange, looking at databases who may have voted in your state, may have voted in our state. It may help in this process. And by the way, that's a whole new technique that the Secretary of State has pursued. Prior Secretary of States did not pursue that. And I think that has helped in this report that he issued.